Joining me today to discuss cybersecurity is John Livingston, CEO of Verve Industrial Protection. Welcome, John.
Thanks, Sid. Great to be here.
You know, in cybersecurity, there's a variety of solutions these days, lots of different aspects, and as you know, I cover that area. And so could you just kind of frame the discussion today by telling us what Verve Industrial Protection is focused on and how you serve that market?
Absolutely. I think the best way to define what we do is unified threat protection for industrial control systems. So our goal is to help our customers simplify this very complex web of cybersecurity tools and things they need to do. So we do that in a few ways. Let me just talk about our flagship product, which is our security center, the Verve Security Center. So 3 ways we help the clients unify this. So number 1 is we're the only solution that we know of that brings together all of the required cybersecurity elements, whether that be for NIST or the CSC20s or NERC CIP, into one platform. Patching, backups, whitelisting, SIM, etc. Secondly, we go across OEM platforms. So we allow our customers to have a unified view across the OEM's platforms that are in their plant. And then third, we give them a unified view, not just to the Windows, Unix, Linux boxes, but we extend all the way down into relays and RTUs and PLCs. So the whole goal is to unify and orchestrate the information so it simplifies the life of the folks trying to manage this.
You know, one of the trends we see is a lot of our clients, our end user clients, are trying to drive OT, IT convergence. Is that something that you see? First of all, do you see that same trend? And secondly, how can you help them do that?
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I think what we see is a dichotomy. In other words, there are some people who really want to drive that, and then there are others, mostly on the OT side, who are fighting it tooth and nail, right? In fact, I was in a conversation last night with somebody just about this. Our goal is actually to provide that integration. So we've been in the business for 25 years, right? We come out of the OT environment. We're all ICS engineers. We've been doing this for a long time. So we know the threats that traditional IT tools can pose in a control system environment. We've built Verve specifically to try and bring this IT-OT convergence. So instead of trying to create all of our own tools, we've taken IT tools that are used in the CISO kind of toolkit, and we've customized them and tuned them so they're safe to operate in an OT environment. So as an example, we've taken a whitelisting product from Bit9, but we've tuned it because we've had 25 years of this. We know what applications need to run on these OEM systems, so we can actually deploy an IT whitelisting in that setting. Similarly, we take products like Tripwire, which kind of stops at a Windows machine, and we apply what we call FDIS, our proprietary solution, which extends that all the way out to these relays. So you can have configuration change management using your IT tool safely and effectively in the OT environment. So we absolutely try and do that for our customers.
Very good, thank you. You know, one of the things, following up on that, another thing I see with vendors today, is, as I know you know as well, that they're really struggling to have the people to support their systems and things like that. So they're looking for services, people to help them with that, and there's a variety of offerings. But is that something that Verve Industrial Protection provides? And if so, what kind of services? Can you give us a little overview of that?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Verve, as it's formerly known as RK Neal, was in the business of control system services for 25 years. And so Verve Industrial Protection, our new brand, integrates 3 service offerings or 3 capabilities. So number 1 is what we refer to as design for defense. Number 2 is the Verve Security Center that I mentioned before, our software product. And then number 3 is what we call our Verve Industrial Protection, or VIP, Managed Asset Protection Services. So design for defense happens before we ever install Verve. It's things like network segmentation. It's things like doing designs for overall network architectures. And then we install Verve. And then afterwards, we provide a range of managed services to help our customers do things like compliance evidence gathering in the NERC CIP world. We have a whole end-to-end patching solution. There are companies out there that will give you a software to do patching. There are others that will go and look on websites and tell you a patch exists. What we've done is we put the 2 pieces together so that you have a whole end-to-end loop. We are out understanding what third-party apps are there. We then pull those down. we review them, we then insert them into our software, which you then can run and deploy and close the loop by updating your baselines, et cetera, right from the software. So we try and integrate these services in our software together. Again, all about simplifying people's lives. We don't think that throwing software over the wall and hoping people can use it is the right answer in this world.
You know, I know a lot of companies that would love to have the solutions you're talking about. Is there anything, is there a special way that you try to help companies justify these investments? That's obviously another problem companies have is money.
Right,
So,
exactly. We don't believe our goal is to try and scare people. There's enough out there that's scaring them already. What we do is we focus on, again, because we've been in the business 25 years, we focus on actual client successes and what they've done. And so the good news is we're deployed in dozens of customers. So we take what they've achieved and we share that with our clients. We're going to be hearing later today from one of our clients at AECI, and they're presenting how they started with a objective of achieving the NIST CSF objectives. They did a benchmark of where they started before they deployed Verve, and now they've benchmarked where they are after they've deployed Verve. And we're very proud that they're saying, we're not saying it, they're saying, they've improved on all dimensions. Overall maturity score is up by about 80%. In certain areas like detection, they're up by almost 200% over their baseline. And that's because Verve is providing them better visibility, et cetera. So when we talk to customers about why they should do these things, we say, hey, look, here's an example. Here's how somebody has significantly improved their posture and their maturity, and explain it based on facts rather than scare tactics.
Well, you know, I know you have a very comprehensive solution. Do you have other plans to enhance it in the future, and can just give a little insight into that?
Sure, absolutely. So Verve today, as I mentioned, integrates those pieces, but it's an open platform. And that allows us to do a couple things. So number one is, as new products come out into the market that are the next whiz-bang innovation, we're excited to integrate those into our platform. And so that allows us to tap into all this innovation that's going on, and our open platform allows us, if someone comes up with a great idea that a customer wants, we can integrate that, and the customer has to only deal with one user interface rather than having to learn a new one every time it comes out. So that's on our platform side. Specifically where we're going is we're then taking that information and we're actually analyzing across these various elements, so across your patch information, your SIM, your change management, et cetera, and giving you one overarching unified threat risk assessment, essentially, looking across the tools, which allows us to see on one asset what's going on all these different dimensions, which provides a much better risk perspective for our customers. So that's where we're going kind of on our development at the next stage.
Well, thank you, John. Thank you for talking with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Today we've been speaking with John Livingston from Verve Industrial Protection. Thank you for watching.